Have you ever wondered what happens to your heart when you experience heartbreak? It's a question that has puzzled many, especially when faced with the physical pain that often accompanies emotional distress. We often use expressions like heartache and broken heart to describe these feelings. But what's really going on? Heartbreak, as it turns out, is more than just a metaphor. It's a complex phenomenon, rooted in both our biology and psychology. Our heart, while primarily a pumping machine, has long been associated with our emotional states, from the fluttering sensation of falling in love to the heavy ache of sorrow. This connection is not just poetic license, but a reflection of how deeply our emotions can impact us, both mentally and physically. So, does your heart really break when you experience heartbreak? Is it all just in your head, or is there more to the story? Let's dive deeper. At first glance, it might seem strange to link our emotions with an organ that pumps blood. Yet when we talk about feelings, we often use heart-related metaphors. Ever wondered why? The answer lies in the complex interplay between our brain and body. Our brain, the command center of the body, processes our emotions and triggers physical responses. Let's take a closer look at how this works. When you experience a strong emotion such as heartbreak, your brain springs into action. The emotional processing center, known as the amygdala, sends a distress signal to the hypothalamus. This tiny part of your brain, no bigger than an almond, is like the switchboard operator of your body, communicating with the rest of your system through the nervous system. In response to the distress signal, the hypothalamus stimulates the adrenal glands to release hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones are part of the body's fight or flight response, preparing us to face a threat or escape from it. Adrenaline increases your heart rate, blood pressure, and energy supplies. Cortisol, the primary stress hormone, curbs functions that would be non-essential in a fight or flight situation and enhances the body's ability to repair tissues. This hormonal surge leads to physical symptoms that we often associate with strong emotions. You may feel a racing heart, a tightening in your chest, or even chest pain. These sensations are not just in your head, they are very real physiological responses to emotional stress. So the phrase heartbreak doesn't only exist in the realm of poetry and pop songs, it has a biological basis with our brain, hormones, and heart all playing a part in this emotional experience. So while your heart might not break in the literal sense, it certainly feels the impact of your emotional state. But the story doesn't end with biology. Our minds play a crucial role in how we perceive and react to our emotions. In the grand theatre of human emotion, our thoughts and perceptions are the playwrights, directors, and critics. They can shape our emotional responses, colour our experiences, and even influence our physiological reactions. Let's delve into the fascinating realm of psychosomatic symptoms, physical symptoms that originate from mental or emotional causes. Ever felt your stomach churn before a big presentation, or your heart race when you're frightened? These are examples of your mind's power to elicit physical responses. Similarly, the heartache we feel during emotional distress appears to stem from this intricate mind-body interaction. Interestingly, the brain doesn't distinguish between physical and psychological pain. When you're heartbroken, areas of the brain associated with physical pain light up, making you feel as though your heart is truly breaking. Our brains also respond to emotional pain by releasing stress hormones, such as cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones can cause a host of physical changes, including increased heart rate, tightened chest muscles, and shortness of breath, sensations commonly associated with heartbreak. Now, what about the concept of a broken heart syndrome? This is a real, albeit rare condition, where intense emotional or physical stress can cause rapid and severe heart muscle weakness. This condition mimics a heart attack, and the symptoms can be just as serious. But it isn't your heart that's broken, it's the stress response that's gone into overdrive, demonstrating the profound impact our psychological state can have on our physical well-being. Our emotions are not just fleeting, intangible experiences. They have tangible effects on our bodies, particularly our hearts. The relationship between our hearts and our emotions is a complex dance, choreographed by both our biology and our psychology. Therefore, the pain we feel in our hearts during emotional distress is as much psychological as it is physiological. But what about the fluttering feeling we get in our hearts when we fall in love? Is that all in our heads too? Well, not exactly. When we fall in love, our body responds by releasing a cocktail of hormones, including adrenaline, oxytocin, and dopamine. This hormonal surge can cause physical sensations like a racing heart or a fluttery feeling in your chest. Adrenaline, for instance, quickens our heartbeat and makes us feel excited. Oxytocin, often dubbed the love hormone, heightens our sense of attachment and intimacy. Dopamine, the reward hormone, gives us that euphoric, head-over-heels feeling. These biological processes are intertwined with our psychological experiences of love. Our brain interprets these physical sensations, associating them with the person we're falling for. So you see, our hearts don't literally fall in love, but they sure do play a significant role in the experience. So whether it's heartbreak or love, our hearts are intimately tied to our emotional experiences. So, to answer the initial question, does your heart really break when you experience heartbreak? Well, we've discovered that it's not as literal as it sounds. The sensation of a broken heart is more a complex interplay of biological and psychological processes. On the biological front, we've learned that our brain plays a pivotal role, releasing chemicals that can cause physical discomfort in the chest area when we're emotionally distressed. This is why it might feel like your heart is in pain during periods of intense emotions. From a psychological perspective, we've understood that the heart is often used symbolically to represent our emotional core. Our feelings of love, heartbreak, joy and sorrow, while they don't occur in the heart, are often associated with it. And remember, when we talk about love, it's not just about the heart. It's about the intricate dance between our minds, our bodies and our emotions. While it may not physically break, our hearts certainly bear the brunt of our emotional highs and lows. So take care of your heart, both physically and emotionally.